Hi everyone, today I want to share with you a few Shamrock fine motor activities. I've included some Shamrock patterns that the children can color and cut, along with some tracing sheets, some scissor skill sheets, and letter tracing sheets. And these can be both done printed out and also digitally on an iPad, and I will go into further details with that in a second. But first we'll go through some of the material that is included with this pack. For the coloring sheets, you can just use regular paper or cardstock paper. The children would color in with crayons, markers, colored pencils, or paint them, and then they would cut them out. You can also do this digitally on an iPad, and again, I will show you that once we get through some of the other sheets in this pack. I've included uppercase as well as lowercase Shamrock letter tracing. I printed mine out on cardstock paper and we use colored pencils to trace the letters with. You can do whatever you want, use crayons, markers, or colored pencils. You can laminate it after printing it out on cardstock paper if you're using washable markers that you would want to reuse the sheet with. I did include alternate capital letters I and J as well. There are also a couple of pre-writing sheets where children trace the lines or trace the shamrock, and there's a couple different sizes of shamrocks that you will see. Again, you can use whatever you want for the writing implement, whether it's a pencil, crayon, or marker. For the scissor skills, I have sheets where they would just cut up the line to the shamrock. There's also a cut and glue where the children cut the shamrocks out and glue them in the blank squares. And then we have just regular shamrock cutting where the children go around a guided line and cut the shamrocks out. They can color them first if they wish. The file can be used on an iPad with either GoodNotes or Procreate, OneNote, or NoteShelf. I'm not an expert in any of these programs, but I did manage to get it to work good. This program that I'm using here is called GoodNotes. I know a lot of you, maybe digital planners, are familiar with GoodNotes. It's an excellent program. Again, I'm not an expert with it, but you would just need to import the file and you could slide through the pages to see which ones you wanted to work on. Obviously, the scissor skills ones are not appropriate for an iPad because you can't cut them. So you may want to delete those pages from the file once you've imported them, and I highly recommend making a copy of the original file once you have it in your program of choice. That way you always have the original program or the original file to work with in case something happens to the second one that you've made. On the top left-hand side of the GoodNotes program, you will see that there's a pen icon, an eraser icon, and a highlighter icon. For the tracing sheets, I like to use a highlighter because you can see through that. And on the right side, there's color choices and side choices on there. You can pinch and pull out to zoom to make the letters bigger, which is really helpful, and then pinch back in to make the sheet a normal size. And for this letter sheet, children would just use the marker of your choice. We chose, again, the highlighter, and then trace around the letters on that. To undo it, you can use 2 fingers and tap, but with this program, using the eraser is also good. You can just erase everything on the page. I really like having the pre-writing skills sheets on the iPad because it can easily be done over and over. Children really love to work on the iPad, and you have lots of color choices as well, so you're not just stuck with one color. This app is the Procreate app, and they've recently updated to let you import PDF files, which are what my files are. You will see at the bottom of the screen once you open the file a page assist bar, and this will let you scroll through the pages. You cannot just use your fingers to swipe across the screen on this, as it will leave marks on there. So you need to use the page assist. Again, make a copy of the original file once you're in Procreate, and then delete any pages that you do not want, such as the scissor skills on here. I really think Procreate is an excellent program for coloring pages. There are a lot of colors to choose from, and it's relatively easy for the children to pick a color and just drag the color, the circle on the top right, into whatever area they would like. The area has to be closed, so there can't be any gaps in it. But again, It's a lot of choices. The children can be creative with it, and it's just really a wonderful program for that use. In Procreate, I do not recommend using the eraser because it will erase everything, including my original patterns for this. You will just need to use a double tap with 2 fingers, and that will get rid of the mistakes or whatever, or to start fresh again. There are a lot of choices for colors as well as brushes, and I find the brush selection to be overwhelming. I just try to find a basic brush that would work good for tracing and drawing. One of the things I like best about working digitally with the children is the ability to zoom in. It can be really helpful when working with younger children to see larger areas to trace, to write, to draw. In the future, I plan on making more material that can be both printed as well as used digitally. I really like these as an option to use in the early learning environment. If you find the ideas and materials I present here to be helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. For Shamrock Fine Motor Skills, I'm Shelley Levette with childcareland.com, and thanks for watching.